Are you considering going vegan or already are vegan but are wondering if it was a good decision? I went vegan for about a year and it didn't work for me, and here's why. The first issue that I ran into was that I was always hungry. I have a high metabolism, so if I don't get enough calories throughout the day, I get really hangry and I have trouble focusing. I don't think at all that this has to be the case for everyone, but I never felt truly satisfied with only protein from plants. It was always very challenging for me to find enough protein for a meal that would keep me from getting hungry again too soon. Another issue that I ran into was that during the year I was vegan, I had multiple missed periods, which I never had before, and my periods became regular again when I reintroduced meat. I'm a social person and I eat several meals with other people throughout a given week, and veganism posed a real issue for me when eating at most restaurants and at other people's houses. It just kept being an inconvenience for all of the lovely friends and family that I have who invite me over for dinner and then realize, oh no, like I have to cook special for this person. And that was really hard for me. I also noticed that the veganism definitely didn't help with my anxiety and depression. The year I was vegan, I struggled a ton with anxiety and depression, like way more so than any of the other years. And those two things may be totally unrelated, but my diet definitely didn't seem to help my mental health. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe so that this guy over here can stay on top of his mental health. I've noticed that veganism typically leads people to consume more foods like soy that no one really should be eating. Due to the lack of protein options though, things like soy and wheat gluten become popular vegan product options out there on the market. My husband and I went to an Orthodox church for several years, and during their Lenten season, their dietary restrictions basically lend people to eating vegan, and that was also a very interesting opportunity for me to observe people's diets since I'm weird like that and I like observing that sort of thing. But I noticed that people seem to actually eat a lot worse during Lent, which is ironic because during Lent is when you're supposed to basically, not think as much about earthly things and think about more heavenly spiritual things. But I was confused as to how that works whenever people are really just eating a lot of pasta and super processed foods because, hey, it at least doesn't have meat in it, so I'm good, right? And turns out that no, eating a healthy diet while being vegan actually takes a lot of curated work. So just know that if that's something that you want to do, then you're going to need to put the work into it in order for it to work well for you. And I've done a lot of studying of diets of indigenous people before they got introduced to typical Western food like flour and sugar, etc. Something I've learned from that is that an extreme unbalanced diet is something that really no culture chooses voluntarily. And veganism really is one of those things. Ultimately though, I think that what each person needs from a diet is a little bit different. I used to believe and always be searching for one diet that seemed to work for pretty much everyone, but I don't really believe that anymore. I don't think that there really is one supreme diet. I think that everyone has to pay attention to how their body responds to certain types of foods and figure out what really works well for them. I hope that my experience can be helpful to you as you navigate your own health journey. Good luck.